Hey, welcome back everyone. It's Matthew, Watty's channel. Today is another special episode of Real Chat as we continue on with the saga of my history of military service. Excuse me. So, last video, kind of recap, we were discussing my initial entrant into 589th Brigade Support Battalion in Fort Hood, Texas, and as we transition to Iraq. So that's actually where we left off. Arrival in Baghdad, Iraq, and so again, man, kind of thinking about Iraq originally, we really didn't have a job in Iraq. You know, it's the same old for everybody. The only reason that we deployed to Iraq is because that lieutenant colonel wants his bird, that bird wants his star. What am I talking about? Lieutenant colonel wants to become colonel. The full bird colonel wants to become a brigadier general. So you have your brigade commander, who is your full bird colonel, 06. Your battalion commander is a lieutenant colonel, 05, and they're just trying to add more onto their resume so that they can improve in rank. That's basically what it boils down to. Which, I mean, if you're a colonel, 06, you basically hit your maximum. In fact, it's an act of Congress to get you promoted to general. So it's not exactly 100% guaranteed that just because you make the rank of colonel that you're gonna become a 1-star in the future. It's just not gonna happen for everyone. I mean, like I said, going on deployments, that you led your soldiers to battle. Yeah, that's what's going on the resume. So, but actually arriving in BIOP, I mean, we didn't really have any assigned tasks or anything. For a good chunk of the time, we were doing a lot of, a lot of guard duty or whatnot. Like, we'd go on these different missions, like, we'd ride in trucks with, like, the crap guys, and, while they cleaned out the shitters and stuff like that. Or other times, you'd have other assignments where you follow around the electricians as they go room to room trying to, like, repair, light bulbs or something. So you have different details that you're put on that, kind of pass the time. But, man, Iraq was disgusting. Not the city itself, or not the place itself, but yeah, where we were in Camp Liberty, Iraq. So in Camp Liberty, Baghdad International Airport is like right within the compound, but you had Liberty and Camp Liberty, and you also had Camp Victory was on another side, and what was the other one that was out there? There were three compounds on there. I think Stryker may have been another one, but so because we didn't really have a task, we were doing all these details and stuff, putting on guard, doing it just occasionally. I think the 101st, was it? Mountain Division. I think it was one. I don't remember. I'm gonna call them Mountain Division because I don't remember what their number was. So like they were in charge of the SSA. So occasionally the warehouse soldiers, warehouse platoon would go to the SSA to help those guys. Would help those guys out, but there really wasn't a set mission. Later on, as things started to build up, obviously as a few months passed, we started running the retrograde yard, and that's where a lot of fucked up shit happens. When you start getting all of these Humvees in, and all of these like PLS trucks, and they're blown to shit, and you see that they've been struck by IEDs, and knowing that people were killed in there. And part of your job is to kind of clear out the cabins and whatnot, just in case there's like body parts in there and whatnot. Even not even thinking about that, just seeing that how they were destroyed and how jacked up they were being. In 2000, in August of 2006, I went on my R&R while in Iraq, and my wife she was with her mom in Chicago and when I deployed, but then she went to live with her father in Colorado, and so I went to Aurora, Colorado to visit my wife on vacation, and the day that I arrived home, while I was calling her from Canada, she was getting into a car accident or being loaded onto an ambulance because she was in a car wreck. And I finally made it to Aurora, Colorado. She picked me up at the airport, and she was in hospital scrubs with her father. And, later on, a few days later, we went to see the car remnants, and that car was absolutely destroyed. And even though I was pissed off, my car was ruined, the fact that my wife could have been killed, you got to take the pros, you got to take the bad with the good with the bad, right? And seeing what that car looked like, and knowing that my wife could have been killed, I don't think there could be anything more terrifying than that. And so now you think back to running the retro graveyard and seeing these cars blown up. It's like, it's irrelevant whether or not you know a certain soldier. Even today, if I hear on the news, soldier from so and so gets killed, it's gonna hurt you. That's part of your soldier family or your military family, or your extended military family. But so it doesn't matter if you know the person or not. It's going to affect you. And like I said, friggin' clearing out body parts and crap like that while you reassign these vehicles back to Kuwait for destruction. Sometimes they're destroyed completely. If there's some salvageable vehicles, they'll repair them and either sell them to foreign governments, or maybe even ship them back to the U.S. for use at home base stations. On top of running the retro graveyard, they also started incorporating missions outside the gate. So, every now and then, you'd be put on like these barrier missions. We didn't really have much to do, so we'd get like a PLS, which is this large flatbed truck, probably 8 feet, 9 feet off the ground. Big giant tires. Those damn tires, just one single tire probably weighs about 1,500 pounds. Again, I might be exaggerating, but damn thing's huge. And then somehow you get this huge freaking back trailer that you got to attach to it as well, with all your little hydraulic hoses and air hoses and stuff. I'm like, I could not back up a damn trailer to save my life. And the fact that they actually put my ass on on those damn barrier missions made no damn sense. But and you go on these missions and barriers. They're talking about T-walls. They're like these giant concrete barriers, and they kind of block off the compound. Obviously keep the bad guys out. And of course, if a mortar hits, you rather hit those walls and those concrete walls than hit the inside of your compound and risk damaging property or killing somebody. So we went on a lot of barrier missions, dropping off T-walls to other bases, and this particular mission I'm about to talk about is the one that has screwed me up for years. Like, even to this day, I still have dreams, and my dreams are so freaking weird because it's not like anything that you can like really put your hands on and point out like, hey, this is, you're thinking about this because this is what happened. Like a conversation you had or an event that took place. Like I would lay down in bed. It'd be pitch black in the room. I would close my eyes and it would feel like somebody turned on the brightest light in the world and it would blind me. Even though I'm sitting in a pitched out black room, that brightness, like where the hell is that coming from? Other times I would see like explosions or like fire would start to rise up, and it's incredibly weird, and I just don't know how to explain it. But so on this particular barrier mission, we made it to Camp Rusty Maya, and there's the soldiers at the gate that are are assisting us as we're trying to download all the barriers, unstrapping them while the crane comes over to lift them up. Well, I'm on top of the damn PLS, and I'm unstrapping these damn walls or whatever. I think at that time I was unstrapping. I think I was carrying low T-walls, the small ones. I don't think I was carrying the big ones this time because I was on top of the truck and I was unstrapping them, and all I hear is this big ass bang. I have no idea what the fuck just happened. All I heard was a bang from the distance. And I looked down at the soldiers on the ground, and they're like, flashing their flashlight on this hole right above. So imagine this is my head. I got my helmet on, and the hole was about right here. So these guys are down there laughing their asses off that I almost got killed, and I'm up there thinking like, what the fuck? Like I'm freaking stuck up there, like, kind of frozen. I get down off the truck and I talk to my NCO, my squad leader. He was my truck commander, and I kind of explained what happened to him, and he laughed at it. And to this day, I will not get over that. I think I'll always be pissed off about his response. When I go back to talking about how military really doesn't give a shit about you. I've talked about how military pretends to be very family friendly, but at the same time your own NCOs are telling you to beat up your wife. Bullshit. And I think what screwed me up is not necessarily the shot itself. I think it was the fact these motherfuckers were, thought that me getting killed was so goddamn hilarious. So, I always got a running damn nose. So what was so friggin' special about this day that screwed me up? Well, yep, them laughing at me was, that hurt, obviously. So it wasn't until, like, later on, because we spent the night in Rusty Maya, and I think I was at breakfast or something, and I don't know how it came up, but I was kind of talking to one of the soldiers that was there, and he kind of explained the situation. Because they only took one shot, and they do that intentionally. So sometimes one guy will show up. Sometimes you might have a second guy who's like a spotter or something, but they'll take one shot at a service member and try and kill him. If they fail, drop gun, and they're heading for the hills. And they do that because if they take one shot, the military is going to be on the lookout for them. They take another shot, military's going to see where they are, and they're going to send quick reaction force or special forces or someone out there to take care of that. So they do one shot so they can't be located. And for years, I'm like, I think it wasn't until recently, probably within like last year or so, when I finally, for the first time ever, told my wife about the story. And I didn't want to tell her about it before because I never wanted her to be scared. I never wanted to see her cry or be in pain, fear for my life and all that. So I felt like this wasn't something that she ever had to know about. I don't know if there's actually, I don't know if your life is actually flashing before your eyes when something like that happens. Like I said, I heard the bang, but I didn't even know where it came from. So it would be one thing if like someone held a gun up to my head and shot at me, but that wasn't the case. But still, man, just reliving that moment over and over again and seeing the laughter. The laughter to me, I think, is the one what really got me in the end. But yeah. Like I said, man, my first deployment, and here's the thing about, and I know I'm not alone, I know there's many people out there who feel the same way I do. You don't want to feel weak. You don't want, you always feel like there are so many other people out there who've had far worse experiences than you have, that you have no right to seek help if you need it. For something like this, right? If you're feeling like you have PTSD, or if you feel like, just talk to somebody just to kind of vent or, get things out in the open, right? So I never really talked to anybody, didn't really think about it one way or the other. What about those folks that hit IEDs and their truck is blown up, or the enemy is, trying to gun them down and they're over there fighting for their lives. I wasn't in that same position, right? So what right do I have to kind of have the necessity to talk to someone about it, my experiences? Definitely, I think when I was in my last civilian job overseas, I was in the MWR and I was talking to a chaplain, and he kind of made a point that don't ever downplay, your interactions. Don't ever how did he say it? Don't ever downplay your experiences. Different people experience different things, and it doesn't make it any less important, essentially. And I think that's what really got me into trying to talk to people, finally getting to a counselor when I got home afterwards, and kind of talking to her about some of those experiences, and finally talking to my wife a little bit. Overall, I don't think she wants to hear it for the most part, but, just like being able to say it out loud to her, I think that helps a little bit. But, I mean, that's one experience. That's not obviously the bulk of it. I mean, there have been other things that have happened during the course of this particular... And like I said, pulling out freaking bodies and body parts out of blown up trucks. Shit like that. That right there makes a person want to puke. And just the pain, you kind of feel like somebody fucking died, man. And you can't do anything about it. That sucks. The fact that you are almost killed, and the people that are supposed to care about you, like your SWAT leader, your NCO that's down there, laughing at, that shit sucks. Coming home on vacation, being home, you're supposed to be safe. You're out of the war zone, and finding out that your wife was almost killed. I'm like, how the hell... I mean, I just kind of talk about this now, like, how the hell have I survived? Mentally, this crap is draining. But overall, I mean, I did come home on that vacation. Things did end up well overall. My wife healed, over time. I think today she still has hematoma on her left leg. I don't think that's ever going to heal. What kind of sucked is when I was home on vacation with her, we were at the hospital while she was having her checkup, and she kind of had like all these bruises on her body, purple and black bruises. Obviously she had bruises on her chest from like the seatbelt, and obviously where the other part of the seatbelt wraps around the stomach, big bruises there and everything from her car accident. I remember this old lady staring at me like she would not take her eyes off me. I knew exactly what she was thinking. She was thinking that I beat the hell out of my wife. But no. Car accident. It's crazy. How much time we at? Alright, so we got a few more. I just heard my wife open the door upstairs, so I think that I've been down here for like probably 2 hours making these videos, so I feel like she's ready for me to come back upstairs. What more can I add from my deployment, my first deployment? 12-month tour, December until... We actually came a little bit early, so we came home November, mid or late November 2006. And yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about as far as bad experiences. There have been plenty more, a ton. I mean, I'm talking about people ripping into you so badly that you just want to pull out your damn M16 and go to town, but you know right from wrong. You got people, you got to take care of yourself, you got to take care of your family. Are you really going to do stuff like that? No. But you know what? Sometimes the fantasy is enough. Damn, these damn videos are like very sad. This is not what this channel was ever supposed to be about, but I just want people to realize that outside of talking about collections and wrestling and whatnot, that, I can get deep and talk about important things, outside of, my hobby. And I think that's why I decided to start making these videos. I just wanted something like, it's called Real Chat for a reason, right? So I wanted something real, something important to me. And military service has been an important aspect of my life, if not the most important aspect of my life. You could say, well, isn't your marriage the most important? True. I definitely agree, but again, military service has allowed me to have a livelihood that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. I was able to, after like 5 years in the Army, not this deployment, but my second deployment, finally start taking courses. And I knocked out a ton in my first, a year in. Knocked out a ton of courses. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to take any more. And it took me like another 9 years, I think, before I started taking college classes again. And I was using my VA at that time. So it was like, what was it, January 2019 or something like that. When I finally started taking college courses again. And it was like, I think May of 2022 when my VA benefits ran out. So that's why I kind of finished only about a third of the way or so through my doctorate program, and basically at this point, because I'm retired now, I just don't feel like any more schooling is going to do me any justice. It's going to benefit any more than what I have with the master. So definitely a ton more of information to pass along for that, but I also got to be careful with what I say because, OPSEC and everything, but nothing what I've said has, I've given locations, but nothing is really security related. Not really. I got a stuffy nose like crazy. And I keep wiping my nose. I'm sorry. I should have had a handkerchief or something down here. Guys, I think that's it for this video, man. I kind of bummed myself out a little bit in this video, so will I make another video right now? Well, if you see me in another outfit in the next video, Army chat video, then I'll stop and came back another day to film this. But I think I made 5 videos now, so 5 videos back to back. I think that should be good. I don't want to talk about any more of Iraq, so I think the next video will probably be post Iraq. And I really, at this point, I think at 20 to 30 minutes of video, I probably only have about 3 more videos I want to talk about anyways. Because I think I think I'll return to Fort Hood. I think that stuff is going to go by like in a matter of moments because there's just not much to say there. But guys, sorry to have bummed you out if that's what happened. Hopefully these videos are informative and like I said, they're not here to like depress anybody. I don't want to bum anyone out, but I think it's something important to talk about, at least for me. Making these videos, at least talking about the collections has always been very, has given me a lot of pleasure and, brought happiness while making these videos for you guys. So, talk about this. You guys aren't my counseling group or anything like that. I'm not going to treat you guys like my counseling group, but I just kind of feel like it's an important aspect of my life and something I want to share with you guys. So, you guys have always been, greatly supportive of me, and I truly appreciate it. Alright, so guys, I am going to close the video here. Thank you again. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you guys still tuning in to the next set of videos. Thanks, everybody.